enough. This is a serious conversation. This is very important to history.
The next station is.
Hey angels, welcome to the Public Access Rundown. I'm your co-host and head angel, Fariz, and this is my co-host and co-angel,
Hana. Because I wanted to introduce myself as Angel already, but then you already did, so it worked out.
because
Synchronized.
it is just like that. It is Fashion Week in the world of somewhere out there. It's not.
Not really.
It is in the middle of October.
Wait, as an
but-
angel, let me crown you something to use it.
Is it a camera? Yes.
Yay! You're an angel now.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man,
So what you were
If
saying,
only,
fashion show
like,
around the world.
it is around the world, and
They
I
don't
think
give you free pearl rings.
I think
This is one of a kind.
I think
It's not.
I think men all around the world need to listen up. Going to our first point, I think all men should listen up. If you are dating someone, be it a woman or a man, however you identify, listen up. Here's head angel Fariz's pro tip for men. Alright? Give your partners pearl necklaces. Alright? Don't Google it, trust me, but give them all pearl necklaces. They'll appreciate it. Trust me.
I agree.
Right?
I can vouch for that.
Right? You should always vouch for me. Co-host Faris, co-host head angel Faris, or the cha, the co-host head angel, the chua, right? Am I saying that right? Cha.
So you're practically Charlie's Angels. I
Correct.
understand. Okay.
Speaking of advice for angels, Victoria's Secret,
Enthusiast.
you might need a little bit of advice because recently the world famous what is it called? Victoria's Secret fashion show. I have my finger on the trigger with these quotes.
Maybe I should do the introduction for once.
Fair enough.
Can I be head angel now?
All right, I'm handing over my
Angel wings?
I'm tearing off my chicken wings and giving them to you.
I don't want chicken wings. Angel wings.
All right,
Right.
same thing. One's vegan, but you know whatever.
So, recently, Victoria's Secret, after a 6-year hiatus, they decide to come back in 2024. Earlier on this week actually, to release their VS, which is Victoria's Secret, their VS fashion show. This used to be an annual event, like every year since I can't remember if it's 80s, but I'm pretty sure it's the 90s. Like it's been like
Victoria's Secret's been around for like the 90s. I thought it was a 2000s thing. Why?
it just no, in 2000s it makes more sense if you were more aware of it because of like TV and like a lot more accessibility, I would say.
Well,
like
at
reach
that
in sense.
age, I was busy going outside, mainly. I had no time to look at girls wearing
Oh no.
little bras.
Am I doing a G? No.
It's an S. I can't see on the preview. It's too tiny.
Is this the way to write G or is it this way?
One of them is.
I was gonna write.
I'll flip it in post
It's okay.
if needed.
Yeah, because you say you had no time for girls, so I was gonna write another word.
I
So.
had no time for girls in their skimpy little outfits, in their little stockings that go up to their little booty hole. No time for that. I was outside climbing trees, falling out of them, breaking my neck. So, kindly explain to a child. Okay, maybe not a child.
Nah. This is not kid. No, this show is. I would say it's kid friendly because kids have seen and heard a lot worse than the two of us.
They know what boobies are.
So
Or you talk
it's
about
like-
modern kids.
Yeah, like they know everything. So it's like fine.
Fuck them. Gen Alpha, y'all know way too much.
They know way too much, so it's fine. But no, Victoria's Secret is not about like tits. That's not the point.
And why do people watch it?
For the tits.
I'm in your minds.
It is not nudity though or anything. It's just basically it's a lingerie brand.
Correct.
But Victoria's Secret, why it's so big, it's because, okay, fashion shows, when I say fashion shows, And for some people in your minds, brands like big brands like Chanel, Prada, Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, like YSL, and so many other brands come.
KFC.
They all do fashion shows. But VS, it's so internationally known because it's so over the top for a lingerie brand. But what makes that lingerie brand so special? It's not the girls, it's not whatever, it's the show. Every year people look forward to the show, whether they end up buying the bras, the full lingerie sets or not. They just enjoy. It's such a good show.
It's the thing. It's a brand that isn't just a lingerie brand. If you think of like things like bras and lingerie, like I'm not a pervert because I know this, but I think a lot of people will go more utilitarian, which is brands like Triumph, where it is Triumph. The ones that you see at Metro, all those little department stores. They are exactly what they are.
I know clearly why you know Triumph brand because you
I
see.
am a learned brand
No.
ambassador.
Hell no! It's
I am
because
a market-
Triumph has its marketing posters, the biggest with girls with the good support and their double D's out there. That's why Triumph sticks in your head.
You are correct. But from what I understand as a person who likes marketing stuff, like things like Triumph and like all those other like brands that you find in department stores, they're more utilitarian. They kind of like they are bras that support the ladies, the girls, if you may,
The girls.
and they
Actually, it's
they-
the girlies.
the girlies now because lingo, am I right?
Yeah.
Like everything's very like it has a bra has a job to do and they do it well. They advertise it as it is.
Yeah.
For the ones that are a little bit more provocative, a little bit more on the sensual side, a little bit spicy, you know what I mean? They go on I would say a very standard way.
Okay.
It's like seduce your husband. Like you stand in the doorway and then everything's a little sheer. They still cover the tatas. They always cover the tatas, but it's always just a little bit more lace, a little more frilly, a little bit more girly.
Because the whole idea is the sheer part.
Yeah, it's very intimate. It's very
Yeah.
romantic. It's you and the husband, and you wanna look the part to kind of get things on. Victoria's Secret blew that out the window and said that shit is fucking boring. Fuck the husband. Well, don't like not literally.
Not literally, yeah.
But this ain't about him.
It's about you.
It's about you. It's
Yeah.
about the women. It's about the angels.
Yeah.
And they came out with a bunch of a whole line.
I mean,
Is it right, line?
there is the line of lingerie. There's the line of like sleepwear. There's the line
Clothing.
of perfumes, the very famous
Ah, that's
perfumes.
true, yeah.
So it's quite a big brand. But the main thing is that every year for the Victoria's Secret fashion show, the whole thing is for them to some of them they use the existing lingeries that they have. Some of it, if they are launching a specifically like a new one, they introduce them. But what makes the show cool is because the girls walk out not just in their lingeries to like a band or a singer playing like a performance going on. They come with those gigantic wings because they are angels after all, right? Like
They turned the simple runway show and they mixed
into a
it
full
with
production.
They mixed it with a rock concert. Like
Yeah.
you go there, you go there because you're probably invited. I don't think they sell tickets to these things. I could be wrong. I don't know anything about these shows.
No, I want to say in the past I'm confident to say you can't just go in buying ticket. But this year I have no idea.
Who knows?
I have no idea.
Right? We're gonna get into that real
Yeah.
soon. Because you like over the course of you knowing me, you were the one that actually put Victoria's Secret like on the map properly for me. Because I only knew Victoria's Secret as the one forbidden shop in the mall that I would always stare at. But my mom and dad would just kind of like give me those eyes. They'd be like, if you look at that store for longer than a minute, they will burn off and you will drip to the ground. And while I was dripping to the ground, in another sense,
Oh,
I just never paid much attention to Victoria's Secret. I just thought the ladies on the outside of the posters were hot.
yeah, they were just like models to you, like whoever
Yeah,
they got,
I
right?
just thought they were hot, and they always have like like little mannequins
Yep.
that showed off like the products, like the bras and the little like undies, I don't know what to
Yeah.
call them, out. And I always did think that they looked kind of cool, and they also had the wing thing. It wasn't like a full
No,
set
it's-
of
it
wings.
is not like the show
It's like
kind,
an outline of
yeah.
it, that kind of thing. But I was like, that kind of thing kind of stuck in my head, and I never knew why until I met you, and then you explained to me the whole concept of that angels.
When we were still friends, mind you guys, I dragged him into the flagship store, which was, I'm sure it's still there, the one in Somerset. I dragged you
Yeah.
inside the flagship store, and I was like, I hate to say it, but this kind of how it felt. It was not like a, hey, check out this bras. It was like an educational kind
Yeah.
of a trip.
We
And it's
were-
like you shouldn't feel uncomfortable to enter a lingerie store. You're
Yeah.
not a pervert. He kind of is, but like
Yeah,
you're,
but that's
you're not,
beside the point.
You're not the
Right.
pervert, so it's like you shouldn't feel uncomfortable. And it was great because it's like little did I know when we were friends doing that, like to a point after we got married, if let's say I were to walk in, you wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
You'll be comfortable to just go.
I would. It's like
Instead of saying like I'll just wait outside, I'll hang around.
it's kind of like a it was like a national education thing. Because a lot of boys, especially my age, we were like what, 16, 17, something like that.
17, 18 I would say,
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
It was like, I would never go in there.
Yeah.
Why would I? Like, it's a girl thing. Girls, cooties, ew. But I like tatas, and I like women in tatas, and not in tatas, women's tatas.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
And I am generally the kind of man who aligns more with Troy Barnes from Community, where as much as I think lingerie is attractive and hot, and other adjectives of similar caliber, I prefer women. I think that's not the right word. I think it's harder when women are comfortable. So like a woman in PJs is like hot to me also. But it's for a whole other reason. There's neither here or there. I'm
Yeah.
more comfortable putting this opinion on the internet.
Yeah.
But that's for future me to deal with.
Yeah, but the whole thing was that for you to feel comfortable, but speaking about comfortable, today's episode is supposed to be, I wouldn't say dissecting, it's basically our opinion. I would say a lot more mine because a lot more mine because I've been watching this show since I was really young, like on back then in Star World and stuff. And the difference is this time I actually can as I was watching the show on YouTube actually, I kept nudging you to like come watch this. So you kind of inevitably watch the show along with me,
Yeah.
and then you also had your opinions to share. And like alone, you had more things to add. Once I showed you some of the older clips, the snippets of the older clips,
Yeah.
for you to have some kind
Yeah.
of comparison.
Yeah, that was when like our two worlds kind of collided. Like you knew Victoria's Secret and the Angels, and when it like in context of like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows,
Yeah,
I was more aware of the shows.
the show. Yeah, correct.
And that was when I think it deepened the experience for both of us. Because in a way, I would never watch any of these, period.
Yeah.
But-
Fair enough.
I would, at that point in time, I would have loved to work on it because the production level of these shows are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That is not
It
even to
really
get
was.
into the workmanship of like what the girls are wearing. That's a whole other ballpark.
Yeah.
The production of these shows, how it's shot, the performers who are like with the show,
The
how it's
stage.
shot, the staging of it,
Yeah.
it was all great. Which is why I want to butter Victoria's Secret up because it is nowhere to go but downhill from here on in. Because this year's one was a point of complete dissatisfaction for majority of people.
Okay. So shall we get to it then?
Get right to it.
So the first thing we're going to start
Let's-
talking about,
alright.
right? The first thing
Let's go.
is mainly, let's start with the set, the whole set of the show.
The staging.
The staging, it all piles in to that main thing. So the first issue is there was no proper theme this year. Why I say there's no proper theme? Every other year when I've watched the show, it's either like a very big theme and then branched into teams in a sense. That means there's one whole collective team, and then like categories split from there, or there are four. Usually, it's four distinct teams.
The whole show links to something. There's a central theme.
There were shows where there was one sub team where it was very circus. One of the models came out with like in her lingerie, a little is damn cool, a little cape outfit, and like those ringmasters, they have a top hat.
Yeah.
She came out with a top hat and everything. Like the costume was on point. The lingerie was being showcased. The performer, I can't remember who was the band for the Victoria's Secret, but then again there were so many big names who performed before. But once again, because there were teams this year particularly, what was the theme? It was not clear at all.
It always seemed like no matter the theme, the whole show gravitated around the theme as it should, right?
Yeah.
It is the one connecting node to every aspect of the show, down to the lighting, like how people are seated. Everything links back to the theme, which is how you make any sort of production, right?
Yeah.
Not just a TV show, a movie, or a podcast.
Yeah.
But like any kind of production. This year it seemed like they just kind of winged it. There was no theme.
But yeah,
there wasn't a like the what the girls were wearing had no coherent link to anything. The performers were out. They didn't seem to have a link with each other, let alone the show. They had who's Lisa? There was Lisa who was a K-pop person from Blackpink, I assume. Right?
I'm just trying to wait for you to finish this because I want to see how much you remember.
There was Lisa, there was not the one that I know you're waiting for me to say, but there was the third one who's I genuinely know who that was.
Okay, she's the singer Tyler. She's the one who sang the song Water.
Sure. Tiger sings about water or something.
Okay.
And like the creme de la creme, which was apparently a big deal for Victoria's Secret and a lot of people allegedly, was that they had living legend ex-corpse vampire Cher return from the dead exclusively for Victoria's Secret fashion show 2024.
Calling Cher a vampire, I just want to say to the internet right now, it's all him. I have no say, an agreement to what he's saying, but I'll be lying if I say I didn't think that was funny as hell.
Yeah, and I'll say it again because we're Asian, so I have garlic in the house. She needs my permission to enter the house. She can't do shit to me. Like, she's a vampire. What is she doing in the Victoria's Secret? Like, how is she not crumbling to ashes?
She's 78.
So, vampires, they live up to 500. They gotta start somewhere, right?
She's got a couple more years left,
She's got time to catch up.
But even when you're talking about like Cher, Tyler, Lisa, whoever it was, it didn't change the fact that the stage itself, the whole setup, basically made everything look very cheapened basically. I'm not saying the cost of it was low, but I'm saying compared to the older Victoria's Secret shows where like we all, I mean for those of you who do follow up with Victoria's Secret, you guys know that they have lost billions of dollars, but maybe the thing is that even if you did lose billions of dollars, people associate your shows with the very successful previous ones, and to see this one clearly shows that the staging basically is so unlike VS.
It's very, because like despite how it feels like it's a fashion show mixed with a rock show, like a rock concert with the performances and all that, right?
Yeah.
A commonality is that like there was a spotlight on the models. Like the performers, they get to sing, they get to play their instruments, whatever. They get to have a literal spotlight on them.
They are basically what I call the show enhancers.
Yes.
If anything, the show is not. This is not a concert.
Yeah.
It's a fashion show.
Yeah, but they always they need to play second fiddle to the models because when like you're not watching them perform, you're here for the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yeah.
So like there was always like a separation kind of thing, like to kind of go on a theatrical note, like a technical theater note. There was a stage that was raised from the general floor where all of the audiences
I guess,
sit. And the performers share the stage, like they share this elevated platform with the models.
with the models.
But the key thing is that a lot of them always stay in the back of the stage because it's a runway. The models are supposed to walk out to the front. They have the little sachet moment, then they wave to the audiences, which was a fun thing about Victoria's Secret. They weren't a bunch of stuck up supermodels.
No, but it's because that was the big difference. It's because when it comes to Victoria's Secret, basically with any other high end brand fashion show, the whole key point was to showcase the clothes, which means the models when they walk is usually with like a kind of a poker face because they're just there to showcase the thing. There's no audience interactions.
They're a blank canvas for the clothes that they wear.
Exactly, but VS, as much as the lingerie is important, not all the models, but at least back then, majority of the models were not just hey, I model for Victoria's Secret. That's not how they would say it. Quite a bunch of women will actually say that, oh, I'm a Victoria's Secret angel.
Yeah, they gave a traditionally, they gave a face to a traditionally faceless canvas.
I would think so. Yeah.
And it was a great thing because I remember the earlier years, like the ones that you showed me a lot, and like the like before 2020, if I remember.
No, the last was 2018, so definitely
like
before
the 2010s era.
2000s also. Yeah.
Was that I remember seeing the models walk down the runway and they just genuinely looked like they were having fun.
Yeah.
And that, to me, if the point of Victoria's Secret like lingerie, which is the product that Victoria's Secret is trying to sell, is to be sexy. I think a woman who is confident in what she's doing and
having fun,
like knowing that the whole world is looking at her in that moment, and she's just like, nah, fuck it, I know you're looking
is the
at
whole
me.
She's that it girl of
She's
the moment.
that bitch.
Yeah.
She is that bitch, and that is hard. Like it makes me salivate. It turns me into a feral little dog.
I really wish you do edit something just like
that one. And it's at the end of the day, it's hot, and that's the thing that you want to convey. But it's not hot because you're not because feminist. You're not hot because you're catering to the male gaze. You're hot because you are you. Like I'm a woman, and this is what I want to wear.
Unapologetically, confidently, you. Yeah.
You are unapologetically feminine, and that is great.
Yeah.
And that was like a beneath all the layers of all that shit. Beneath the capitalism of the whole point of selling a show is that it is selling that image of pure confidence, and I think that was the hardest thing about this show because they're literally given a platform to shine on. Some asshole is playing music in the background for these models, and they know it, they own it, and they flaunt it.
Yeah, and even speaking of the platform, what was so different compared to this year was what made VS a VS show was the platform was all glitz and glamour. It's all bedazzled, it's all shiny, it looks like a special runway made for the angels. At the end of the runway, there's always some kind of a little fan kind of a thing to make the angels as they are walking down with their gorgeous, luscious hair, for it to blow to make you feel like that's an angel walking, which was all absent from this year's show actually.
It seems like everything that made Victoria's Secret,
yeah,
the secret, if you may, it just seemed like did they also forget what the secret was? Because they just like, fuck it, right? Who cares?
Yeah, and to be honest, for me, what was the other thing that I looked forward to, at least growing up, was back then, because I watched it on TV, there were advertisements. This time, even though the show was like, it's a live recording, yes, but at the same time, it's also like they do show some behind the scenes takes. They don't call it the red carpet for VS, it's the pink carpet. The interviews and stuff. What was so that's the only sound I could give this year was the fact that they didn't the interviewers themselves were such a letdown because they got these two. I have maybe they are big names, I don't know, I have no idea who they are. They are some influencers who are horrible at interviewing. I really had to fight the urge to not skip through the interview because I'm like, when someone asks you a question, you either like, of course, you wait for them to answer and finish, and but a good interviewer keeps it going, engages, but kind of still links it to your next point.
Like an interview is just a fancy word for it's like a documented conversation.
Yeah, I mean that is some, like it should be, but it felt so awkward because it was very like, I'm asking you a question, yes, you're giving an answer, and I'm just like, okay, so the next like, what kind of an interviewer does that?
That's not an interview, is it? That's a Q&A.
But sometimes I feel like, I think earlier on you did share that after you watched the little snippet of the example I was showing you with how they were doing the interview, you legit said to me, this is what they get if they got influencers to do.
Yeah, and that seems to be the whole thing about the show, this entire show, which, like, they haven't done a show in like 6 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Like, in no part thanks to COVID, right? Like, COVID definitely did a number and the entire planet and all that shit. It's been 6 years. But it seems like this show was done in the last 6 weeks, despite that. It
like
seemed
the rush thing.
Yeah,
like everything seems so rushed.
Everything's so rushed. Everything's a half thought. No one wants to do this kind of thing anymore. And that's the curse of this show. Like, the models look like they're not happy, which if that was what was like the point of the show, is like, no, we know you guys are always very playful, but we want it to be
serious, for example.
Serious. We want it to be like dangerous. Why then? Like, that's not what you're known for.
That's not your brain.
Clearly it's not, right? And then, like, the behind the scenes, because there's so much nothing going on, there's nothing much to talk about. The stage doesn't even have a platform anymore. It's just a flat floor, which, as like a technical theater, a person who knows technical theater, I kind of get why, but that's on an artistic sense. But it just seemed like a lazy, like, you just didn't have a platform.
No, and once again, it might have worked for a lot of other fashion labels. It might have worked for so many other brands, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, Victoria's Secret, it just did not work for you, because it is not like you are a brand that's starting out, figuring out different ways. This is not like in the 90s or early 2000s when you're starting to gain popularity and you're experimenting. You have already established yourself.
Like when it comes to branding, you guys already did the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you found the thing that makes you unique. You found your voice. Your thing is called Victoria's Secret, and it is such a huge joke about what is the secret.
Yeah.
You already did that thing. You just have to execute the figuring out. You've done it, and you've done it freaking well.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you guys forget that? Did the Microsoft Word document get deleted somehow? Like, what's happening?
And when with you saying that, there's also the thing, like, when you keep saying what are they doing. So Victoria's Secret, as I shared, like, 6-year hiatus and stuff. So they, of course, after you take such a long break, you're coming back, you want to bring something new to the table, right? And what did they decide to do? They decided to bring a lot of the OGs back. So, of course, if I'm going to drop once again to the people who are watching this, who knows the model name, Adriana Lima, Candace Swanepoel, they were there. Hell, they even got Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks worked for Victoria's Secret, like, alongside, like, Naomi Campbell, all back in the 90s. Adriana Lima was the face of, like, Victoria's Secret. You think of Victoria's Secret, you think of her. Candace is another big name. But if you wanted to bring the OGs back, yes, you can. The internet, and I guess I share the same feeling as a lot of people on the internet, which is, if you want to bring, like, the dream team, the OGs back, you bring most of them, or don't bother.
Yeah, which is it's a disturbing thing that I think is starting to emerge in just many industries all around.
Okay.
Where, like, bringing back OGs, original gangsters, if for those who are unaware, but on a more corporate term, it's someone who is of a legendary status because of what they have done in the past. They made it to a standing where they are known for that within their little industries.
Yeah.
And for a lot of these models, they walked and they became known for, I don't know what is the caliber of a good model. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna.
I mean,
be,
there's models and supermodels, in that sense,
I frankly do not understand the
But
difference.
like for Victoria's Secret, it's like either you're like a regular model who works for Victoria's Secret, or you're the Victoria's Secret angel.
Yeah.
Where you start representing as the face of the brand, you attend all the press. It's like it's your face everywhere.
So it's like they did the work.
Yeah.
They established themselves and their own personal brand identity. They've made it basically, and to cap it off, to become a legend, you gotta die a legend, right? So they ended their careers, and then that was it. They moved on to further projects.
Yeah.
To have them come back seems to be like, if I hope it's just a one-off thing, because like this could be like a sweet. The thing is, I want to get you to explain why it is this way, but it could have been a great callback, which is great. Everybody loves a callback. Remember this lady? She's back better than ever. She aged like fine wine.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that this year for this show, did they?
Okay, so to me, it's like, okay, so people like Adriana Lima, Candace Swanepoel, especially Adriana Lima, she, if I'm not wrong, in 2018 itself, they announced it so big where she was doing her last runway to, I think, close off the show also. And as she was walking down, you could see there were tears streaming down her face because she knew she was like retired from VS basically. There was tears, there was a whole room full of people that were giving a standing ovation to say bye to her. It was a chapter that was closed, and she has done all that she could do, and now she's like, okay, goodbye. Okay, guess what? You brought her back. Yeah. It's like, fine, but it's okay. People are still excited because, hey, it's not Victoria's Secret without Adriana Lima. Fair enough. Candace Swanepoel, another big iconic faces. After Adriana Lima's time, she came back. I understand. There was still a lot of big names they didn't call. Fine. Tyra Banks, the last time she worked for Victoria's Secret was 20 years ago. You brought her back. Shit. Okay, 20 years ago. Tyra has been on to doing so many other things, but it's okay. You got her to come back, fine. And there was so much hype for Tyra Banks. The Tyra Banks is coming back. Okay, you got her to walk out one time to close and exit the stage. That means with all the hype that was given to her, she just, okay lah, she had her nice moment. She walked, smile. Okay, show ends. The rest of the models come and go. What was so great about that is my issue. The other thing is, when you say that the OGs are so important because they help elevate the brand so much, why did the opening and closing of segments, the big ones, for those of you who have no idea who Gigi Hadid was, if you guys watch the show, is the lady with the pink outfit and the wings where she tugged on it and then it opened up really huge. Gigi Hadid basically and Bella Hadid, they're the Hadid sisters. They are very well known in the model world.
I did not make that connection.
Yeah, the Hadid, yeah. They are like big names in the modeling world, but at the same time, they are not Victoria's Secret angels per se, right? And you have people like Adriana and Candace on the show, but you gave Gigi and Bella big wings to walk and to open and close a segment, and how is that fair? Like, so are you trying to tell me that you brought the OGs just to
it's
be like, hey, they are here?
You brought them back, you make them a huge fuss about them being back, but at the end of the day, they were kind of just a footnote.
Which is so sad because it's like that's disrespectful for somebody who retired.
Yeah, someone who bet their face and their body to become like the ambassador of your brand.
Yeah.
This person's whole identity, their career, like for a chapter of their life became dedicated to your brand.
Yeah.
And for you to treat them like that, it's just so like before this, I wouldn't have cared about any of this.
Yeah.
Right? But like no, we decided, we sat down, we talked about it. I thought this would be a really good point for a podcast.
Yeah.
Because I felt so bad for these women. Like they
you literally said when you watch the show, like, why do they not look like they are happy?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like just watching the show, like, because I've seen snippets of this show before.
Yeah.
Why are they all so pissed off? Like, why? And then you're telling me about like these OGs, like you're telling me Tyra Banks, I don't even know what she looks like. But if she's I mean I know her for that show, America's Next Top Model, and
yeah.
that was it. I didn't even know that she was a model. I never made that connection. I was a stupid fucking
She
kid.
was a big supermodel in the 90s.
I didn't know that.
like Naomi Campbell's level. Like they were huge.
Like the soup?
Never
Yeah,
mind.
but they're
Never
like-
mind.
I mean, I was waiting for my entry to make that joke. But like yeah, you're telling me like they done all of this and now they're back. You know, like here they are coming back to the spotlight. They took the dust off, but they're gonna show these youngins what to do. And they were there for like not even
No,
10 seconds.
It was so sad to see that. And going back to the point of what you said about like Adriana giving her time, dedicating her life, her effort, her body and everything, you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
Right in point with that body, I do have a very big point I would like to share though.
What is that point?
Okay, so we all, maybe not all, for those of you who don't know, Rihanna has a makeup line, Fenty Beauty, and of course she has her own lingerie line, Savage X Fenty. And the thing is, Rihanna, when it comes to the makeup world, she fundamentally changed the game in terms of not just product quality whatsoever. No, the fact that she was the first one to really put her foot down and said that, hey, it's all about diversity and inclusivity. Oh my god! Of course, now I mess it up. Inclusivity, right?
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So she emphasized that. So when, of course, the her foundations and all of those makeup products covered a range for people who have like people who are albino, all the way for people who are really, really dark skinned. They can find, and everything in between, they can find their shades.
It's like the word for it. It's like
Albino?
No. Basically the opposite of albino. Albinos don't have melanin.
Melanin. People who with a lot of
they have
melanin.
way
Yeah.
a lot of melanin.
Yeah. So those, like, literally her foundations cover those two ends of the spectrum all the way to everyone in between. And when it translates to her lingerie line, which is Savage X Fenty, mind you, once again, the key thing is she's not the only person who makes like soft lingerie. Come on, there's a lot of lingerie brands, and like what you said earlier on, if people wanted the comfort, they can go for Triumph or something like that.
Yeah.
Why want to go for that? But no, it's because she decides to do a fashion show. Who else does a fashion show that is very well known with lingerie? Victoria's Secret. But Rihanna decided to be like, hey, I do believe in diversity a lot. I feel that you should include all kinds of shapes, bodies, body types whatsoever. So she did. So her fashion show, the vibe of the thing was a lot more edgy, grungy in that sense, because Rihanna was like in the music industry for very long also. With all her vibes, I would say, translated into a lingerie line, she had like a lot of sexy lingerie, but with every model walking out showcasing the lingerie, there were people who were on the smaller side, petite side, curvy women, plus size women. Everybody who a lot of fashion brands would, like, because the fashion industry is pretty cutthroat when it comes to sizes, right? Like that's why the whole size 0 even exists.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like there's 00, by the way.
What the fuck does that mean?
I do not know that, but like it is like
that's the thing I always liked about like the Fenty line, which
it's all
is
about
it's about diversity. And the thing about, at first, for me it made sense, right?
Okay.
When like with the Fenty Beauty line being, oh yeah, it's makeup that caters towards like the darker skin tones and like basically non-white skin tones.
Exactly.
And like, oh yeah, we don't have much of that, duh, right?
Yeah.
But like it was one of those things that like no one did it, but like it
A
was
lot
such
of people
it's
who are darker
obvious,
still requested for it, but
like, it's obvious now,
Yeah.
but that's how great the idea was.
Exactly.
But
it was
then-
revolutionary, I would say.
That's the thing. It was
Yeah.
revolutionary, but really, like many good business ideas, boil it down, it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, the thing is that
Yeah.
what she did was not hard per se.
It's just
because
no one did it,
no
and that
one
was the
did it.
fucking amazing thing.
Exactly. So the problem with this year's Victoria's Secret fashion show is that, as much as I say all these good things about Fenty being
She diversified diversity. That's the thing I wanted to bring up.
Is the fact that VS specifically this year did try to have a more diversified models coming on the runway and things like that. What I mean when I say that is VS Angels, they are known to have like angels for a reason. They were called bombshells and all these terms because they had the face of like the beauty standards were like impossible to reach. The hair that is so glossy, it's like, is that real? The body where it's like, they don't look like stick thin, by the way. They are fit with tits and ass. They are like a perfect
they're
woman.
like the
I don't know how to say it.
Like they were like very. I think the word that like what it used to be was not curvy but curvaceous.
And because
like,
they did have curves also.
Yeah, but I think nowadays when you say curvy, they mean like a little bit of extra meat on the side.
Yeah, correct.
Like,
yeah.
You're kind of like, I don't know if it's the proper word or if I should even use the word, but like chubby is what a lot of people would call curvy now.
These days, yeah.
But like compared to what the standard models were supposed to be, they were curvy.
Exactly.
They weren't anorexic. They looked fit.
They looked fit. They had abs.
Yeah, it was scary, but also very hot.
Every part of their body was so toned, and the best part was they had tits and ass.
By God, did they?
They did, and I'm not sure if it's natural or not. That's for a different thing. But the thing was, they had the whole VS Angels set at such an high expectations from their face to their hair to their skin to their body, where every girl would be like, I want to be like that kind of a thing. That now they are like, hey, like Savage does this whole diversity thing, right? And don't get me wrong, for many years now, a lot of women around the world have been asking, VS, why are you so not like inclusive? Why do you always showcase this type of women? There are women in all shapes and sizes, blah blah blah. Yeah, we get that. But what happened when finally VS decides to be diversified in their show? It was a shit show. I'm so sorry. It was a shit show because it's a good thing that you tried to be inclusive, like, but man, little too late for that, I would say. And you didn't even do it right.
And it's kind of like just to like zoom out and like see the thing as a whole again.
Mm-hmm.
With Victoria's Secret being about like women being proud of their like we're proud of our product, so we're gonna put them on women who are proud to be women. They put them in like that. Whatever to call lingerie skimpy is kind of like hyperbole. It's a bit not. It's supposed to be. Yeah. Right. So like, we want women to be confident in their own bodies, so we get women who are confident to be in their own bodies.
Yeah.
And then it seemed to be like they took the note from like Savage Fenty, and like they are, like plus size women are beautiful, and they are, but they kind of took it. They took like half the page, not even half. They took like the first sentence of the page, so which bleeds into what other models wore, where they didn't even wear lingerie to begin with. They were wearing like dresses, sheer dresses and dresses.
And then Tyra Banks, straight up when she came out, she had like a corset. Like of course there was a bra and everything. There's a corset. There was full on tights to cover her. And the thing that I pointed out to you is that if they were truly being inclusive and as diversified as they say, how come? I mean, Savage did it, right? Like similar outfits worn by all different sizes, all different shapes, all different. There were guys coming out in because she also has her line is not just for women. She also has men. So there were men coming out also. There were straight men, gay men, trans, whatever but that's what she decides to do. VS is as much as it's a lingerie thing. Every single plus size model that walked that runway had her midriff covered.
Like not
so it's
not,
like what are you doing?
It wasn't even like a lingerie thing, because like corsets can be part of a lingerie set.
Yeah, fair.
It wasn't even really
it could
that.
Be a dress.
It really was like covered up.
Yeah.
Which is then what's the point of doing it?
Yeah,
if you don't want to do it, if you're gonna half-ass do it, just don't.
Then don't do
it.
Because I think a lot of people are pissed off because they were happy with how the shows were.
Yeah.
So now that you decide to do something about it, and then you kind of made it worse, and making it worse, I just have to say one thing: the wings, the angel wings.
We gotta like start wrapping it up, but I think the talk about the wings is gonna be our last bit because I think that one hits you on a personal level.
Yeah, because all the Victoria's Secret angel wings every year, every segment, there's like huge wings. Okay, there are huge, fancy, large wings, and some of them, the one of the larger wings might be given to the girl who's wearing the $1 million bra. Can cost $1 million, a couple of millions. The $1 million bra was missing. The big, fancy, and I think well-made and nice wings were missing. Fariz, I think this one I would like for you to share your thoughts as a guy who finally watched the VS show. What you thought of the wings?
They were lazy, dog. Like they were straight up lazy, and this is coming from a place of concern, right? I seen what you guys can do, and as an artist, as a creative person, I know it's hard when you used to have this every year, and every year the stakes grew and they grew.
Yeah.
It's like we made the best one. All right, now you got to make the next best one.
Yeah, exactly.
And it keeps going forever, and I get it. It's hard, but like I think it's only fair that most of the time you're gonna like maybe not stoop to like dog shit level, but you kind of have like a standardized margin. Like maybe if we're gonna stop making wings for everyone, why not just make a set of wings that is like, if you're a Victoria's Secret angel, you wear these wings. These are the wings that you're gonna get, and they look nice, right? Which I think in my mind looks like kind of like cubits like wings.
A Cupid's one is one thing. I haven't shown you the full range of the crazy ones.
Yeah, but that's the
cute ones are like more Cupid style.
Yeah.
The fact that the performers Lisa and Tyla had better wings than the models.
Like that's the thing. Like your models are your lifeblood. They are the ones that wear your shit. The performers, they're great. And I get the whole influencer thing. You're tapping into their audiences so that they watch this show. Yeah. Everyone knows the strategies now, alright? They don't work as great anymore.
Yeah.
But your models are there. You chose these fuckers for a reason. So why did you skimp out? For me, the
one with the letters, is it the words?
The fucking the shit cherry on the shit cake was the wings that just said Victoria's Secret.
Do you know
them.
the one who wore that wing was a V? That's the one of the OGs, Candace.
And
with her hair slicked back, not even down, and just Victoria's Secret. Yeah.
Like dog, you gotta.
I just want to say that
it's cool. Like the whole point of the wings, and you have models that wear it, and fuck, most of them that look like shit, they weren't even like straight on.
Oh yeah, they were lopsided.
They had to keep adjusting it. That's if they bothered, by the way.
Yeah.
Most of them just didn't even care, and they just
walked out.
Like one wing was like basically straight up, and the other one was like 90 degrees to like their left. It was crap. It looked sloppy at best. The execution was just poor, and it's sad. That's why, like Victoria's Secret, whatever your secret is, just tell us because it's not worth it anymore.
We're going to try and help you. And honestly, I want to say that, I mean, of course, we're going to wrap this up, but I also would like to say that, if you do decide to do your next show, I'm sure there'll still be millions of people wanting to watch it because, like that. But hey, if you ended up taking 6 years to give us this shit, I hope you do take 6. Hell, take 16 years more for all I care. But please, think about what show you're going to give us. And it's either you give us what you gave us before, or due to your billions of dollars that you have lost, you can't give us that. Give us something completely different. Don't try to be another Savage X Fenty.
Yeah, because don't worry, Savage has it covered.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to see what Savage comes up with next.
Yeah.
Because clearly they have taken over as... Well, if Victoria's Secret, you had a secret to the fashion, don't worry, Fenty figured it out. So just to wrap things up, I would just like to ask a little question. For once, I actually have an answer to this question.
Oh.
If you could make your own Victoria's Secret angel wings, what would they be? What would they look like? What material? What's the kind of vibes of it? That kind of thing.
It's a long ass answer. Material, I don't know. But I would definitely, firstly, am I like just for fun or am I walking on the shoe? I have to know because the skill will be very different.
No, you know what? No, like it's impossible. Your imagination is the limit. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I'm walking on the shoe. The kind of wings I want, firstly, is I want it really huge, but not
Fair.
too heavy. I have to say that.
Fair.
I actually would like something more like a butterfly kind of a wing, though.
Oh, like shimmering, shiny
Shimmering.
kind of.
The cutting of it looks like butterfly wings, where it's kind of translucent also,
It's
glass-like. I would
Less
say.
angel, more fairy. Then I guess.
More fairy, but
Wings-
if
wings
I
clock
get
vibes.
wings that huge, I'm definitely a VS angel by then because
Fair.
only the
Fair.
angels get wings.
Alright.
So yeah, I think I would like
Okay.
that, and it has to be kind of pink because
I mean, fair. I think that one goes without saying.
yeah.
So, for once I have an answer, I always ask you the questions. I rarely answer them. If I were the Victoria's Secret Angels, I'll be the first ever male angel. My wings would just be two Victoria's Secret Angels. Just two on my shoulders. Period.
It's a fantastic answer. You horned up.
Thank you. Victoria's Secret, hire me. I'll give you ideas if you guys are running out.
Oh, they got their heels. They have to step on you too. So
They can step on me all they want. I am 100% okay with that.
Aww.
Waiting to be stepped on, I am your co-host Fariz as always, and this has been my co-host, co-angel.
Hana. I have to emphasize that.
We're trying to keep the secret back into the box. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure you give us a like, give us a comment. That kind of stuff really does help our show. And if you have anything you would like us to talk about, just leave it in the comments, message us, DM us, whatever. We'll be looking forward to it. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Oh, V. You have to do S.
I think.
Okay.
Deuces!